Hi guys, it's Andy from mcfcfantv and welcome to tonight's live vlog where I've got finally the chance to talk to Yannickaaa. So Yannickaaa, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Brilliant. Well, I thought I'd invite Yannickaaa on. I was going to be on my own tonight, but me and Yannickaaa got into a bit of a Twitter debate, didn't we?
Yeah.
Who was it about? Remind everybody.
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, there you go. So what we thought we'd do is, I thought, well, why continue this sort of Twitter debate? And it was all a bit, we were just back and forth with things. And I'm probably in the minority, but Yannickaaa was sort of giving me a little bit of grief about cheeky and signings and why is it not done and all that type of stuff. And I was trying to stick up for cheeky, and so I just thought, why keep this up? Let's get her on the channel. She knows what she's talking about. She's followed City for years and years and years. So, yeah, it's brilliant to have you on. Are you okay?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Brilliant. Right. Well, what we're going to do is just see who is on, and then we're going to go into the news, which you can see scrolling in the bottom of the screen there. That there is a little bit of news. Where the truth is in that, I don't know, but that Zinchenko could be part of the Koulibaly deal. So let's see who's on. We've got the cool kid of Zim. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Matthew Hart, hi all. How are you? Addy's on. Zinny refused to leave once before. He isn't going anywhere, you reckon? Paul Standall's on. That's not a bad idea. Make Zinchenko part of the deal, although we be light at left back unless Ake is the answer there. Ultra sport and culture. I've no idea what that means. I don't know. Yannickaaa, can you shed a on that one? Yeah, no, that's French ain't my thing. So, hello Blues, Jack Lee's on. He also says, sorry, I missed some recent streams, busy with work again. Don't worry about it. We're all been that. That's why I've not been on for a while. I've been finally back at work, which has been brilliant. Evening all, hope everyone is well, says Ronnie Beaver. Evening Ron, says Jack Lee. Noah Pearson's on. Hi guys. Jamie Short is on. Koulibaly plus 200 million for Zinchenko. Take it or leave it. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Carl Blundell, the Evertonian, is on. I bet you're pleased with your window. Getting Rodriguez on a free is a pretty decent deal. Is there another fantasy league? I'm not running one. Whether the guys will, I'm not sure, but I'm not. I don't. It's not my thing. KK will come. You reckon Amar Jr. the GOAT? Carl says, what are your opinions on the new season? Are you worried or optimistic? Well, maybe we'll get into that because I think I'm optimistic. Yannickaaa might be maybe a little less. So Zagon's on. How are you, mate? I'm really starting to worry how long this transfer for Koulibaly is taking us. You're on the side there of Yannickaaa. Hi all. We've repeated that one. Lassiel Blur's on. How are you, mate? Not spoke to you for a while. Hey, Blues. Oh, there she is. Or there he is, my dog. The animal lifestyle. Love that dog. That dog picture. Just inquired about a dog. Maybe I'll keep that for another time. So maybe we'll have a dog in a couple of weeks' time. Blue Heart's on. Good evening to both of you. There you go. See Blue Heart. We had Emily on the other day. You've been crying out for Yannickaaa. Where are the women? Well, she's on. Hi to both of you, says SOS66. Hey, Andy and Yanni, says Anthony Abrahams. Anthony's in Brazil. So there you go, Yannickaaa. He's giving you a hi. What's this? My teeth are hurting so much after they adjusted my braces. Oh, well, if you have to do that, mate, you have to go through it. Sorry to hear that, Noah, mate. Oh, that Roberto Blondie's on. He's one of our mods. What's about Mahrez to Real Madrid? Well, maybe I'll ask Yannickaaa about that before we get into the whole Koulibaly thing, because Yannickaaa can't stay on because she's got another show or something to go on. She's just a very, very popular young lady. So Cal, I think he'll flop, says Chris Baker. Anybody else? Right, okay. Oh, there's a question then I'm going to give to you, Yannickaaa. What are your thoughts on the rumours that came out yesterday morning with regards to Riyad Mahrez. It was something I was going to talk about yesterday, but unfortunately I couldn't because we had no electricity. So, what are your thoughts on that rumour? Can you see anything in that, or would it be a good thing? Would it be a bad thing?
I don't really know because we get a lot of our players get kind of linked with Madrid, and I don't know if there's a lot of truth in it. I think a few years ago Sterling, but I think there was truth in that because I think he actually asked his friends, and I know one of his friends, and they said that they told him, stay at City because you're settled there. You could probably become like a legend if you stay a long time. So I think that was true, but I don't know with Mahrez. I've not really heard much. I've not been online. But yeah, for him, I don't know. It might be a good move for him because he doesn't always start for us, and he has spent a lot of time on the bench. The only downside is that I think he's actually settling in now, and he looks really good. So it would be a shame if he did leave now, because I think he's been underrated for us because he's not really had the chance to play and be consistent. So I think we'll get the best of him in the next season or two. Hopefully.
Yeah, we did that season sort of end of season review, and I've never been Mahrez's biggest fan, only because it's not about Mahrez; it's about where Pep plays him. I've always said if he was in Kevin De Bruyne's position, we would see him in even better light, but he's never going to take that role. So he's always forced to play in that right wing role, which I don't think really suits him. However, you look at his stats last season, goals and assists were phenomenal. I gave him a solid 8 out of 10 last year. I thought he was, overall, objectively, even though I think it can be frustrating at times. I thought he had a really good season.
Yeah, he did. He had a good season last year. Because that's what I think he looks like he was getting, to where we need him to be, and then the season ended. So I think hopefully he'll take that form into next season, and then we'll see a lot more from him.
Yeah,
so it'd be a shame for him to leave now. I think maybe with his age as well, he'll probably want to move sooner rather than later. So if he is going to move, he probably will go. But I don't know whether this year wouldn't be good for us to sell him at this point. I don't think.
It wouldn't. I mean, obviously, we've got Ferran Torres coming, haven't we? We've seen a couple of games. Spain, he looks exciting, but it's a bit different sort of kettle of fish when it comes to the Premier League, and I'm sure Pep will introduce him, bit by bit. The thing is a lot of fans, before we quickly move on to Koulibaly, a lot of fans are crying out for Sterling to get back to his usual position on the right-hand side, which means that's Mahrez's position.
Yeah.
And if we brought in Torres on the left, and Phil Foden we know can play on the left, maybe there's a little something in it. I don't know, because I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts? You think he'd stay? He should stay?
I don't know whether it's the best idea for him to stay, really, because I think he's still going to have that competition, and I think at Leicester he was one of the main men, so he was on the team sheet every week, and he had that chance to build up, and that's why he had such a fantastic season with Leicester. So I think he's not really been given that at City, and that's just down to us having such a big squad, and obviously a lot of our players being good quality, whereas at Leicester it's like him or somebody much worse. So I think it might be a good idea for him to move for himself, but obviously as a City fan, I don't want him to move because I think at the point that he's at now, he's only going to get better for us.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a shame for us to lose him, but for him, it does make sense probably to move.
He's probably at that age as well, isn't he now? Where he's probably got one more big move, 10% signing on fee and things like, like I said to you about Koulibaly at 70 million euros, he gets a 10% signing on fee, and Mahrez, let's say we sell him for 60 million, let's say, or 80 million. It's a large chunk of money on top of his wages. He's probably only got one more big move, and it probably needs to be this season or next, and that's it. 30 odd, going into 31 the following season, he's not going to get that anyway. But anyway, that was Mahrez, seeing as though somebody asked about it. Quickly before we move to Koulibaly, Dupé's on. Hello, how are you, mate? It's me, says, I'd rather Bernardo over Mahrez. Okay, yeah. Carbon Del Chris, James Rodriguez is the 4th most followed footballer on social media, the 8th most followed. Well, Cal, if you see Cal's tweets, it's going to be about Everton. Like Chris says, means nout. Bernard's on, how are you? Need Bernardo to hit some form again this season? Yeah, good point. He had an in and out season last season. Let's hope so. And finally, Mahrez must stay. We need all our class players considering the amount of games in rapid succession. Our defender has not been sorted yet, and I am worried early doors about how we start. We need a big squad. Yeah, good point. Right, okay. Moving on to why Yannickaaa is here. And this is obviously all about Koulibaly. Now, the rumours come out, and if you saw the thumbnail, the agent of Manchester City's Alexander Zinchenko has claimed his client would be open to being involved in the potential deal for Kalidou Koulibaly. City have obviously been locked in negotiations with the Italian side over the centre-back for several months, with Guardiola having made improving his defence a priority, and so far the two clubs have not come to a close agreement, with Napoli demanding a huge fee for the Senegalese centre-back. City yet to get close enough to it. Now, it says that this is something the two clubs are working on, with negotiations ongoing via Farley Ramadani, who is the intermediary. This is Koulibaly's agent, because obviously there's been a strained relationship between Man City and De Laurentiis. His words were, and this was from Alan Prudnikov, this, I'm assuming, is his agent. He said, Zinchenko in the Koulibaly negotiation. He is on the radar of Naples. 3 years ago, there were meetings, apparently. But for this, we have to talk to Koulibaly's agent, of whom we have the utmost respect, as well as the Manchester City management. What if City called me to include Zinchenko in the negotiation? If it were to do so, we would listen to Napoli's proposal and try to see what we can do. So this is his agent basically saying, we are open to offers. Now, that's a big change compared to when he could have gone to Wolves for 15 million last season and refused to, and said he wanted to stay and fight for his place, which is, big up to Zinchenko for doing that. But what are your thoughts on Koulibaly? And we're going to talk now specifically about your comments about Cheeky and the way it's been held, the way it's been handled with Koulibaly so far.
I think for me, the only criticism I have really is that we had, I think, off the back of last season, normally as a City fan, you notice things and you'll say, we need this. And people will say, you've got such a big squad, you don't need anyone else. And that's normally what I get if I say, like, we need a striker or something. They'll be like, you've got Aguero, and you'll say, yeah, but he gets injured. And they'll say, yeah, but then you've got Gabby. Like, there's always you don't actually need anyone. But I think every fan has said City need to replace Vincent Kompany. They've been saying it for years. The first year when we thought he might go, we tried to get, well, not even we thought he might go, but when he was getting injured and stuff, we went for, obviously, Van Dijk. At the time, I thought, whoa, that's way too much money. Because back then, 75 million was ridiculous. So at the time, I thought that's way too much money. City said the same thing. We lost out on him and obviously went to Liverpool, which is fair enough, because at the time it did seem like a ridiculous amount of money. So I'm not even judging City for turning that down, because I agreed with that at the time. Unfortunately, it's turned out that he was worth every penny for Liverpool, because they've managed to win the Champions League and the league, So obviously we didn't know that at the time. So I didn't really get onto them for that, because I think, everyone was saying that's ridiculous. Then Maguire, kind of similar. Like, I thought he's not worth that, but with him being English, they obviously add a lot on. So obviously he's not as good as Van Dijk, but he's going to cost more because he's English. So I think even with that, like, I wasn't, going at the club. I just thought we should have gone for someone else. If we weren't going to pay big money, we should have never gone for an English player, because you always know they're going to cost a lot more. So I thought maybe if they'd gone for someone foreign, they might have got them in, and then it would have been done, and then we wouldn't have had the problems that we've had. So I think this is kind of the third time now. And that's what my issue is, because it's like, if we're going to say again, oh, we're not paying that, if we bought him, even for something ridiculous, like a ridiculous fee, and we won the Champions League, everyone would be saying it was worth it. We've won everything under Pep. So I think, I don't know, I think they should have pushed it through, and we have been after him for a while. I know we have issues with Napoli. I know there is issues there, but I think the amount of time we've been after him, and I think the player, it seems, wants to come. They know they can only sell him now because, like you say, with Mahrez, this is the last big deal for him.
Yeah.
They're not going to get 80, 70, anything like that million next year. So I think they know it's in their best interest to sell. So I feel like as a club, we should have really pushed that through by now. But, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I get you. And like I said, we had this debate. If you haven't seen it, go over on Twitter and see the debate. And it wasn't arguing. I was just Yannickaaa throwing things at me. I was throwing things back at her, and about the whole thing, because I'm pretty chilled about the whole thing. And like I said, I am in the absolute minority. I know tons of City fans, like Martin, like Chris, and most of the people who are commenting in here will be frustrated and everything else, and I'm quite chilled about it. I honestly am. I don't know why. Maybe I'm foolhardy. I don't know, but I just think when you're dealing with such expensive players, there are more to it than just signing them at a whim. And I've been saying now, Martin's been on and on and on about Koulibaly, and for the last 3 months, I've said all along, I've been consistent on this channel and said we will get into negotiations with him, and De Laurentiis will then suddenly change it, and he'll go, oh, it's not 60 million, it's 90 million. Well, last week, exactly the same thing came out. He made a statement saying there are other clubs interested and the going price is 90 million euros. Take it or leave it. And I knew this would happen. I knew it would happen. Now, the thing is, we don't know from the inside where City really are. I mean, we're reading all of these social media things. Oh, we've offered this and we've heard nothing from City. And I trust the board. And yes, I agree with you. We did need to replace Vinny last season. I heard the rumours that a deal for a centre-back was done last summer, and in the last weeks, Nicholas Otamendi decided to stay. And by that time, the price had gone up and the player was looking elsewhere. And it threw everything out of the window. And that's why we didn't replace Vinny Company last summer, which, I think we would have been okay with Laporte, but then Laporte got injured.
Yeah.
The backup wasn't great. And let's face it, we spent a lot of money on John Stones. He should really have stepped up. He hasn't so far. That's not to say, he's still young, not, in relative terms as a centre-back. Will he stay at City? Will he pull out an absolute masterclass and suddenly turn his mentality around and be the player that we signed and things like that? So, I mean, I'm not too concerned, but I get what you're saying, and I get what a lot of people are worried about it. But I mean, we are a couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks away from the 5th of October or something. The transfer window closes. We obviously have got a week's grace before we play against Wolves. So, are City going to just take this to the wire? And it'll be, who calls whoever's bluff first. Obviously, Napoli need money. City seem to, if you believe the rumours, want Koulibaly. Koulibaly, if you believe the rumours, wants to come to City. Will City just sit there and go, oh, okay, fine. We're happy to go with John Stones, Otamendi, Garcia, because Garcia don't seem like he's going anywhere now, and Laporte, and now we've got Yannickaaa, and we'll just, if you don't want our 70 million euros, fine.
Yeah.
Because the rumours also come out, said nobody else is interested in Koulibaly. Nobody, not at that price. They think he's too old to pay that kind of money. So I don't know. What would you do? My question to you was, if you were team, what would you have done?
Oh gosh. Well, like I say, I don't really know exactly. The only thing I think is, I feel like with other clubs, like you'll get a club like Spurs and they'll go after a player that you think he's not going to join Spurs. And the next minute he's unveiling a Spurs shirt and saying, I can't wait to play. And I'm thinking, they have nothing really that we can't offer, of course not. And, they know that they're going to go there. They're probably not even going to win anything, but they're still willing to go there. And I just think with City, it's something like we should be able to get any player we want, with what we've got to offer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just like we tend to struggle. And I don't, I feel like if it was Arsenal going after him, that for some reason they'd probably be able to get him, but with us. So I don't know. I know it's partly because people think they can just add on millions and millions when they hear it City. I know that is part of the problem. So it's not exactly City's fault, because I think people do say, okay, they're worth 45 mil, and then, City are interested, 75. Like, people do that. So I think they are in a bit of a bad situation, but we kind of need to just, I don't even know how they can do it, but we need to just be in a position where we can say, right, okay, like Barcelona or Bayern Munich, where they're just like, we're a great club, come if you want to come. If not, we're paying this and done. Because that's what Bayern Munich do. I know there is a little bit different. But they literally say, we want Sane, 30 million, we're not paying more or whatever. And then if the player wants to go there, they tend to get it done. So, yeah, I think it would have to come from the club where they put out there, look, we're not taking any rubbish, we're not, which is kind of a hard one because you want to get Koulibaly, but then you don't want to just pay anything. So I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay well over the odds to get him, but then at the same time, it's like, I also don't want to be in a position where we're going into the season and we've got the same issue.
Yeah,
so it's a hard one.
I'm sure this is the position that Cheeky's in, and Farang, they're in the same position, especially Cheeky. Sort of, I said to you on Twitter, we have a wage structure and we have all this thing that we don't want to break. Not for a 29 coming up to next year 30-year-old defender, and that would break possibly, I don't know whether it will or it won't, but possibly break the wage structure to a certain degree for a defender anyway. So I know you said about paying anything, and I said to you on Twitter, I said, well, if we have to pay 20 million or 30 million, let's say it's true, we have offered 70 million euro, and they said we want 90, and it's everybody's City fans are like, well, just pay it, we need a defender. Yeah. we pay it. Well, every single transfer in the future, that's what's going to happen. They're going to go, look at what they did with Napoli. They just sat there and went, got an extra 20 million euros. So when it comes to a big player, maybe an Mbappe or somebody else in the future, then when we go, all right, we'll come to an agreement on 180 million or 200, they go, no, 250.
Yeah.
I'll leave it. And it just, we've been so rigid in the way that we've gone about business, and on the whole it's been very successful. For me, if we went any more, I mean, I said months ago, if we can get him for 65 million quid, fine, I think we should get him. Any more than that, just walk away and go and get somebody else. But if we got him for that, brilliant, great. And I know people say, well, it's not your money, it's not, it don't matter, it's not about my money or that, it's about
I
do agree with
that. I do, because I've always said that, like with Maguire, it was when we were going after him, and I was saying, there's no way we can justify spending that on him. So I do agree with that. I think the problem that we've got is just we could have probably. I think the only way you can get players cheap now that are at the top level are if they're really young and from a club which is not great. So like people like Riyad Mahrez, they came in from what, two in the French league or something like that, and it just happened to be like a diamond. Do you know what I mean? And he was really successful. Whereas with us, our target is to do better than everyone else. So if we go into a season and we come out and we finish second, like we did this year, finish second and win a Carabao Cup, that's seen as a bit of a failure for us as a club. Whereas other teams can afford to maybe get someone in and then it doesn't work. Like even Man United at the moment, they can kind of, because they've not been successful, when they waste money at the moment, is seen as, oh, well, we're just trying to get back to where we were. Whereas we don't have that sort of thing. So I think the problem will be, obviously, if we don't get anyone and we start the new season and the same thing happens again, I think people will be saying City had a whole summer to correct it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that will be the problem. So it'll come back on the club if it doesn't work. But like you say, we have got a good squad. So if we go there, Ake is amazing, and we have a fantastic season, we win the league, everyone will be saying, oh, yeah, we didn't need him. So it's a hard one. It's hard.
Everyone will be saying, that Andy from Man City Fan TV was right. Don't panic. Well, I don't want to put my hedge of my bets on it anyway. I'd rather us buy a centre-back, I really would. It's interesting you said there about extra money, finances that go on English players. I mean, we've just seen what Chelsea have done with Ben Chilwell, because in the last summer, or in January, the talks were £85 million for Chilwell. And we're like, well, for a left back, you're joking, aren't you? And he's gone for £50 million. So he's English, England international. So it's there. There is there. Why? Whether he really wanted to go to Chelsea or not, and that was it, and that's what sealed the deal. So it shows you that even with Maguire, that premium of 85, which is probably a £50 million player in my opinion, because for me he's garbage. But you know, Chilwell, what was quoted around 85 million, goes to Chelsea for 50 million. So we'll see. Anyway, let me just go back and see. I'm sure everybody will be tons of comments on here. I won't be able to put them all up because, and don't forget, I'm not sure, Yannickaaa might have to go. So Yannickaaa, whenever you need to go, you just
that's fine.
just say goodbye, and you can shoot off because I know you've kindly come on here, even though you've got another engagement. Let me see. Oh, hey, we've got him on. Why do wheelchair users support Liverpool? Because they will never walk alone. Oh my god, that is just that's terrible. As good as KK may be, he needs to fit the current City profile. It's a lot of money for a gamble, in my opinion. So we need to give Cheeky a bit of leeway. Well, maybe I have got one person on my side there. We said that on Twitter, didn't we? You were talking about, excuse me, a leader at the back, and I said to you, "Does he speak English?" And you said, "Well, I think he might speak a little."
Online that he does, but
you know, we don't know. So I mean, straight away, not only have we got somebody coming in to the Premier League that he's not played in, what his English is like, and I'm sure you know what foreigners are like. They're very good at picking up languages very quickly because they're used to, like, obviously he's Senegalese, he's playing in Italy, so I'm sure he speaks fluent Italian. I'm sure he can pick English up very quickly as well. But you know, it is still a lot of money for somebody at 29, 30. Carl, the Premier League is a lot different to Italian football. Hold on, Cal's having a Barney with somebody, but we'll leave him to it. Why with a light? I don't know who Jerry Gow's talking to. He's having a Barney with someone. KK significantly improves our defence if he comes. Excuse me. That's the bottom line. I'm definitely. I'm not disputing the fact that he wouldn't. How much was Koulibaly on? I've no idea. I haven't got a clue. I don't know. Yannickaaa, do you know? I don't know. I really don't. Roberto Blondie says, Yannickaaa, I agree with you, but United used that strategy in years gone by, and now they're held to ransom for every signing they wish to get. City won't allow our club to be the same. And I think that's an important point. And it's that fine balance between
it's hard.
being sensible and having a structure and everything else and trying to attract the best players, or becoming where Barcelona are right now, where United are right now, having to take out a £450 million loan, and that type of. I don't think City will want to do it, even if it is to the detriment of club. But Carl Buxton says we need to improve our scouting operation. Maybe. Let's just see. Is there anybody else on here? Mr. Roll Up 10 says 70 mil plus 5 to 10 million add-ons is fine for the best centre back on the market. Get it done. Okay. If we miss out on KK over a few million, we'll regret it, as we will fall short again in the league. We need a top centre back this season. So Carl Buxton is sort of on your side there, Yannickaaa, with regards to that.
Yeah, I think if, like you say, if it's from 70 jumping to 90, that's ridiculous. But if it is over 5 mil, my view is,
yeah,
you know, maybe they should just push it the 5 mil, you know, because I wouldn't want to lose out on, you know, because I think Van Dijk was they were close. You know, they were saying we're not going over, I think it was 65, and he went for like 80 or whatever, you know. How much did they go? 75? So I think
it's
it
around
was
75, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it was that much in it, but obviously at the time we thought, oh, it's fine, but you know,
I mean, the rumors today with, I mean, again, like I said, you read these with a pinch of salt, you know. But the rumors were City have offered 70 million euro plus 5 million euros in add-ons.
Right.
So you're looking at, you know, 65 million quid with 5 million pounds worth of add-ons takes up to 70 million pounds, and the add-ons will be, you know, you win the Premier League, you win the Champions, you get X amount of money. So I mean that sort of goes off it, but it'd still be that bottom figure that we would be looking to pay for it, which I think, you know, I think is fair and reasonable. You know, if De Laurentiis is going to stick at 85 million pounds, 90 million euros, I don't think that's realistic at all. I really don't.
No.
So I think this will drag to be a, you know, it'll be one of those that will be who blinks first, or City are looking at somebody else already, and they're just. I've said this all along. I said string him along right until the last day, and then when he goes, go on, then you can have him for that. Go tough. We've already bought somebody.
Yeah, we got someone else.
You can keep him now for another year. Just after what they did with Jorginho to us, give him a bit back, but we'll see. We'll see anyway. Paul Standor says, do you think City have had enough of a return from all of the clubs in the CFG? I thought more players might have moved between clubs. I'm sure at the start we had plenty of players going out. Well, I don't know. Well, we've got Jack Harrison in, who's now at Leeds for this season. He was at Melbourne. He could turn out to be interesting to see how he plays for Leeds this season. Look, Leeds fans say he was very, very good. So we get to see him for a year in the Premier League playing for Leeds. So he could turn out to be a superstar. He might not. He might just be an average player and we sell him to Leeds, and, you know, that deal is done with. As far as the other teams, I think I really believe the CFG profile and the clubs and everything else is not about players. I think there's some, you know, get players to the places like Breda and NAC Breda and clubs like Girona and that, just to see how they do. I think it's more about exposing City's profile more than the players, if I'm being honest. I don't know, but we'll see. But next quick point was Nicholas Otamendi, which we spoke about before, Yannickaaa, looks closer to leaving City. Two of his former clubs are reportedly coming back in for him, and those clubs are Porto, and Porto have shown a big interest in there, but saying that his current 6.8 million euro per season at City is too much. They can't pay more than 3 million a season, so it might be difficult. And now there's rumours that Valencia are also sniffing around Nicholas Otamendi. Don't really want to get rid of anyone right at this moment in time after what we've been talking about. But, Nicholas Otamendi, just quickly, what are your thoughts on him?
I don't actually mind Otamendi. I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, throws him under the bus all the time. I think I said it last time I was on the show. I said, you know, he's the reason why we loved him is also the reason why people hate him. You know, he makes quick, rash decisions, and sometimes it works and it's fantastic, and sometimes it goes terribly wrong and it's a penalty or a goal, you know. So I think with him, he's done well for us over the years. I think with his age, you know, he is probably coming to the end of his City career. With John Stones, even though he's got similar issues, he's not good enough for City at the moment. He's a lot younger. So I just feel like that will be the reason why Stones will stay over Otamendi. But, I wish him all the best if he does leave.
Yeah.
Because I think he has done well for us over the years. He's had a few dodgy games, but so has everyone else. So, I think just him and Stones together didn't really work. I think Otamendi and company, not too bad. Otamendi and Laporte, not too bad. But when it's Otamendi and Stones, it's just like disaster at the back. So
Yeah. I mean, I've always been an Otamendi fan. I've yes, he makes some absolute gaffes and things like that, but let's face it, he was in the Premier League Team of the Year, not last year, the year before. That shows you how good he was for a whole season. Still, probably for me, the best header we have of the ball. Across the back line. But yeah, I think I agree with you. If anything, I can see Otamendi potentially going. But the big worry is we've got to get somebody in. If we're going to get rid of him again, and he finally does go this time, then that really does definitely mean, because even people are talking now. I know Martin always says, well, I think we still need 2 centre-backs right now. And I think obviously that's with one of either Stones and Otamendi going. So I guess we'll wait and see. Blue Art says Otter is great, but when we play top teams, he's mistake prone. Sad, but we can get somebody better now. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I definitely wouldn't argue with that. Otamendi gives 100%, just makes rash decisions. Yeah, I agree. Rubito says, I will never say a bad word about the general. He has given what he can give for us, so I always respect him. Argentinian Richard. Yeah, I agree with that one as well. Right, just before I let you go, just something that came up was on, the usual talk garbage, talk sport. According to Sol Campbell, he reckons Pep Guardiola will definitely be gone at the end of the season without a shadow of a doubt. What are your thoughts on that? And quickly about that before you go, just give me your thoughts, because we didn't have you on while the whole Messi thing was going on. What were your thoughts on Messi, and what do you think about Sol Campbell saying definitely he'll be gone by the end of the season, Pep Guardiola?
I think with Pep, they say it all the time. I don't think he will be going. I think he said something about maybe signing a small extension.
Yeah.
Because I think what he doesn't want to do is commit to City for 5 years or something like that, and then he does the league, and then people are slating, and I think he doesn't want to be kind of trapped in it. But I could see him extending and staying a little bit longer. It's actually interesting because when we were linked with Messi, it was basically saying if Messi comes, Pep will stay longer and Aguero, which would be nice, and that is one of the reasons why I do want Messi, because I think it will keep Aguero here longer and Pep, obviously, are 2 of the most important people for City. So, I think when I first heard Messi, I was like, they say this all the time, just kind of ignored it. But then when he was actually saying he wanted to leave, I thought, oh, wow. Because really, to get Messi would be a statement and a half. I mean, because 1, it's Messi, wants to join City, 2, he's the best player in the world. 3, I think we would have a much better chance of winning the Champions League with him. And then finally, I just think the amount of income that he would bring to the club, even if we have to pay quite a bit for him, we'll get it back. So, I would love Messi. But I think it's a shame that it's kind of seemed like he's been forced to stay. But if he does come on a free next year, that won't be too bad.
Do you think, I mean, everything you've just said there is exactly what I've been saying about the Messi deal. I mean, people can argue about how much it'll cost and all this time, he's over the hill and this type of things. But, the amount of commercial revenue that will bring into the club. I mean, I was reading a big breakdown on finances, and they said we could end up making a profit every year if we got Messi, because of how much sponsors would increase their sponsorship. I mean, his wages would be irrelevant. We'd probably end up making a profit on him. And it would be the greatest transfer between clubs. Probably in our lifetime, for him to come there. Plus, I think adding number 4 to your 3 points would be, like you said, I think it would guarantee Pep staying while ever, whenever however long Messi stayed at Manchester City. So I'm going to ask you a quick question, yes or no, before you go. Messi, are we going to get him next season? Is he going to be at Man City on a free?
I think so, because I think he's definitely made his mind up that he wants to leave Barcelona. It kind of, to me, it looked like he was kind of forced to stay by his dad because of the contract and what he, I think he doesn't want to end up in court. Obviously, he's got a lot of love for Barcelona. That's his club. So he's not going to want to leave. I think it'd be the same for Aguero. If Aguero wanted to maybe move on, and then City was saying, no, I don't think he would leave on a negative note because of he wants to be the hero, Aguero. So he wouldn't want to leave like that. So I think I can't see him going anywhere else, because a lot of people were saying, oh, go to United or go somewhere else. And I'm thinking, I can't see it. He's always said that he wants to play with Aguero. They're best friends. They've always said they want to play together. And Messi used to joke saying Aguero would have to join Barcelona. But that was before, obviously, he wanted to leave. So I think there's a lot going on in Barcelona within him and the club. So I think he will definitely leave, I think, at the end of his contract. And I can't see him going anywhere else. Unless Aguero left and Pep left, then maybe he would.
Yeah. I can't see that happening. If an Aguero were to leave, I can't see him coming to City. But I think they had no choice. And you've got Varane, you've got Cheeky, who know Messi, and you've got Pep. And I don't think any of them wanted a Messi court battle over this. And I just didn't think. I mean, Pep's always said that he hopes he stays at Barca. So. But anyway, there you go. You've had it from Yannickaaa. Yannickaaa thinks Messi will come next season. We'll still be in for Lionel Messi. She still thinks Koulibaly is going to come at some point, even if we have to pay a little bit more for him. So Yannickaaa, I want to say a massive thank you for coming on. I know you've got to rush off.
No,
so really do appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you. See you later.
And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. That's Yannickaaa. She had to go off. She wasn't going to come on, but she thankfully gave me sort of 44. Well, I said 20, 30 minutes. She gave me 45 minutes, which is fantastic. So I want to say a massive thank you to Yannickaaa for coming on and talking specifically about the Koulibaly deal. Because like I said, we did have a bit of a discussion on Twitter with regards to Koulibaly. So I'm going to quickly come back to your comments, and then I've just got maybe one thing left to sort of quickly talk about. Ebbet says, Andy, I know you've been very busy wondering when you've got... I'll do my best, mate. I can't promise you it'll be in the next few days, but I will do. What I talked about in the email to you, it's still not up and running at this moment in time. So, but I'll certainly will get back to you at some point. I do promise about it. I'm not sure he will come now. Sounds like his kids have pulled at heartstrings. I'm not too sure about that, because if you listen to his interview, if you watch the... Guillem Balaguer, who actually translates his conversation, he said they were upset at first, his kids were upset at first, but then they realised that this is what he wanted to do and everybody was on board. It all came down to the contract and the court case that would have ensued if he demanded to go. So, swap Stones for Van Dijk. Like that's going to ever happen. I'd love to sign on a pre-contract in January. That would affect Barca's sponsorship. Well, he's free in January. It's free to sign a pre-contract with any club. So watch out for January. It's going to be interesting. Messi is a game player. He is a big game player. It would have been better to get Messi next season anyway, so get Messi welcomed by fans. Well, yeah, let's hope so, Shadow. Let's see. Who cares what Sol Campbell says? Yeah, I know. I thought it was quite interesting on that. Man City fan TV, Aguero is Man City through and through. He is, absolutely, of course he is. Pep will stay longer as he is the face of City. If suddenly something goes wrong this season, then he will leave. Well, I think if something went wrong this season on the back of the season we just had, I think maybe he will leave. Maybe you're right, mate. We need to get Barca in the Champions League this season so we can batter them 8-2 again to really convince them. I'm not sure we've beaten them 8-2 before, but in just over 3 months we can talk to him, so it's not long really. Absolutely. Spot on with that one. Blue Moon FC says Stones might have a good year and we could get Messi in a swap deal with him next season. Hey, you never know. I'd just be nice to see John Stones play well for a whole season. Yannickaaa, thank you. Brilliant vlog. Delight to meet you, Andy. Great stream. Thank you, buddy. Blue Heart says thanks, Yannickaaa. So does Chris. So does Jack Lee. Take care, Yannickaaa. Thank you, Yannickaaa, says Nippon. Bye, Yannickaaa, says Bernard. There you go. Barat Thotta says, I say if we can't get KK, we should get PK. He wants to lead Barca and he's a leader. Hey, bloody hell, that's a good shout. I'd take him for a year, definitely. I'm sure he'd love to get back with Pep Guardiola. So, yeah, maybe it's a good shout. I think they'll probably all stay though until March because we know Bartomeu is out of Barcelona in March anyway, and Font may be the new one. So we'll wait and see. The girl talks a lot of sense. She does. She's a proper true blue. Tara Yannickaaa. Shadow says, imagine Leeds pull a miracle tomorrow and beat or draw Liverpool. Yeah, well, I'm going out for dinner at 5 o'clock, so I won't be watching any football, I don't think. Messi will sign a new contract. Barca have to get rid of Bartomeu and bring in Xavi or Puyol. Yeah, maybe that will happen. Paul says, will Garcia go? He's not going anywhere by the sounds of it, mate. All the sounds are that he's going to stay in. He'll probably end up going for a free next season, unless Messi was to come. Pep stays, and then he'll probably do a U-turn and want to stay at the club. So, what about? Sorry. What about we have Aki and Mendy at left back, then have Laporte, new centre back, Stones and Tosin and Walker, Cancelo, Couto at right back. I'll tell you what, Galaxy. Why don't we have Aki and Mendy at left back, Laporte and Kyle Walker at centre back with John Stones and Cancelo and Couto as our right back? That's for Martin. I said earlier, what about Aki at left back and turn Mendy into a centre back? Maybe not. I think Mendy's strengths are when he's forward rather than defending, I'll be honest with you. I'd have PK a good laugh at the Rags for selling him. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Right, listen, before I go, don't forget to check out on Sunday night the Empty Seat Show. Last week's with Emily was absolutely brilliant, where we've got a special guest again for this Sunday, and it is one you will definitely not want to miss if you're a Manchester City fan. So I'm not going to say any more on that, but please tune in on Sunday at 8 p.m. And it's an absolute cracker. That's all I'm going to say. You will love it. So don't forget, Super Chats will be available on Sunday night. So if you've got a special question for that special guest, then you will have your comment read out to that special guest on Sunday night. So I'm not giving you any hint whatsoever. All I can tell you is I am so excited and I am gutted that I am not presenting the Empty Seat Show. It's Chris and Martin, but I've got a super chat ready to be lined up, a question for this guest anyway. So I can't wait. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So whatever you do, join us on Sunday night at 8 p.m. Because if you miss it, you will be gutted. And if you miss it and you don't have a chance to, put in a super chat question for this guest, you'll be gutted. That I can promise you. But yeah, as Robito says, don't forget, guys, if you're not a subscriber to Man City Fan TV, hit that subscribe button. What are you doing? We're bringing you tons and tons of stuff all the time. And don't forget, give it a thumbs up. And if you are a subscriber, please make sure your notifications are set to public, not private. That way you'll be notified as soon as we go live. Isco is on. Yes, there you go. It's Isco. Spot on. You got it, Bernard. It is Isco. Somebody far, 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 far bigger than Isco. That I can promise you. Is it Danny or Natalie? Far bigger than Danny or Natalie, mate. Far bigger. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. I'll try and get back tomorrow at some point in the evening for a quick vlog, and if there's any sort of news updates and things like that, I'll come back and I'll be live with you guys. And but anyway, thank you so much. So again, I want to say a massive thank you to Yannickaaa. Really appreciate it. I know she had to zoom off for another engagement, but I want to say thank you to her for giving us the time on Man City Fan TV. But guys, thank you for all of your comments. You've been absolutely brilliant. Is it? Oh, you've got it, Noah. How did you know? It's Klopp in his teeth. It is. Is it Messi? Yeah, it is Lionel. Come and join us to speak to Lionel. Somebody far bigger at Man City than Lionel Messi. That's a promise. But guys, take care. Have a wonderful evening. This is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Thank you, Blondie. Thank you, Chris, for modding. Really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend wherever you are. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at some point, probably in the evening, for a quick update. And then it's all on the Sunday night empty seat show with our brand new guest. Take care. We'll see you soon.